Well, good morning, everybody. It is 7:34. That's why we call it the 734 from WCCO. Appreciate you checking in on us here on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, wherever you get your digital information. That's what we're here for. We want to give you a quick look at the weather forecast. We call it the 734 cast. And you can see today pretty decent temperatures. This is right around average for this time of year on this Thursday. Some sprinkles possible again as we get into the late afternoon, maybe around 4, 8 o'clock tonight. Those sprinkles might develop into a actual rain shower, but otherwise just kind of a cloudy, mediocre day today. Let's talk about this. It was supposed to be opening day for baseball today. The season postponed because of COVID-19. Don't you feel like baseball is something we all could use right now? The league is re-airing an old game for every team. For the Twins, they picked the 2009 AL Central Division clinching game. As an awesome game. It's going to air at 10:15 this morning on twinsbaseball.com and Twitter. WCCO Radio is going to re-air last year's opening day on the radio tonight, so you still get a taste of that. Twins would have opened the season in Oakland, but in light of opening day, we wanted to talk baseball. Get your mind off of COVID-19 for a moment and share one of your favorite baseball memories. Maybe it's the Twins, maybe it's another team. Share that in the comments on the Facebook page, on WCCO's Facebook page, and we'll read through a few in just a moment. We just got the breaking news of the new jobless numbers. Unemployment claims soared to 3.3 million last week. That is the highest the country has ever seen. Last time we had a record, it was 1982 during the Depression in 82. The number was 695,000. But wow, 3.3 million. When you look at the fact that hotels, airlines, and restaurants have essentially been shuttered for business, you can understand why this number is so high. Here in Minnesota, we are seeing soaring unemployment applications as well. And these numbers lagging a bit too, but the Minnesota department that tracks all of this, the Economic Employment and Economic Development Department, DEED, says in the last week 164,000 people applied for unemployment. Last year it was 2,500 a week. This year we're getting about this moment we're getting about 2,000 an hour. State officials bracing for hundreds of thousands. These numbers just going to continue to surge. We are hearing of more potential layoffs this morning. Honestly, I was a little surprised that this hadn't happened already, but thousands of Lifetime Fitness employees could soon be furloughed. You know, the corporate headquarters is here in the Twin Cities, and last night the CEO was on Fox News with Laura Ingraham, and he said without a specific date to return to work, they just can't keep paying everyone, so he may have to lay off 90% of his workforce. That's about 36,000 people. Lifetime has locations all around the country, but the big corporate headquarters here. Most, if not all, gyms around the country are shut down. Minnesota-based company is paying workers through tomorrow, but then we'll see what happens. CEO did cut his own pay down to zero. Same for the rest of the executive team. If you need to apply for unemployment benefits, Minnesota's saying do it online instead of by telephone. Same in Wisconsin. You're going to want to do it online. We have the application for you at WCCO.com/links. We are all in this together, right? And here at WCCO, we want to help connect those of you who have been laid off. We know there are so many of you with companies who are looking to hire right now. Maybe companies that have temporary jobs, or maybe you want to do a career change. Cub Foods is hiring at all of its stores in the metro area. They tell us they're looking for stockers, cashiers, deli clerks. They just need help as people are overwhelming the grocery stores. Find the link to apply and many other jobs that are open right now at WCCO.com/now hiring. Amazon wants to hire more than 100,000 workers nationwide. We called them and checked overnight, and they told us at least 500 of those jobs are going to be here in Minnesota at the Fulfillment Center, which is in Shakopee, and then many delivery jobs all over the Twin Cities. So for information on both of these jobs, or if you have an opening that you want us to know about, go to WCCO.com/now hiring. We do know that life as we know it is about to change even more. Governor Tim Walz issuing that stay-at-home order that begins tomorrow at midnight, and it's going to last for about almost 2 weeks, I should say, April 10th. Restaurants will stay closed to dine-in customers until May 1st, and schools will be online until May 4th. So what does that mean exactly for you? Well, if you've been following the self-isolation guidelines, maybe it won't mean that much different. You can still go for a walk. You can go get exercise outside. You can go to the parks. You can go shopping for groceries. The liquor stores will stay open. Curbside pickup and delivery from restaurants still allowed. Banks are still open. Emergency medical and dental needs, gas stations, all still open. This is the new normal.
It's just the next step of what we will need to do during these unprecedented times to stay ahead of this.
If it makes us safer for everybody, we support it. Schools being closed, though, is going to be a challenge. So for that, we're just fortunate that the liquor stores have stayed open.
We all cope in our own ways, right? Governor Walz said he would like to see people voluntarily comply with this. They could fine violators. They could, pull you over if they see you out when you shouldn't be. Meanwhile, the governor does say one of the driving reasons behind his order was modeling that came from the U of M and the Department of Health that showed intensive care beds are going to be a problem. Right now, the state has a total of 235 ICU beds that are open, but more might be needed. The governor says if we hadn't done any social distancing, we'd be out of beds in about 6 weeks. Arenas, hotels, public buildings. Plans are in the works to convert all of those into hospitals if we need them, but they need time. That's why going to this should help. Local doctors say they're focusing on what they can do inside their own hospitals first.
We're looking at medical surgical beds that could be enhanced so that we could take care of some more critically ill patients there. We're looking at other spaces within the hospital walls.
Officials said making sure the hospitals are properly staffed and that everybody working there has enough personal protective equipment. Those are their next priorities. In Washington, a massive economic stimulus package is a step closer to President Trump's desk. It's a $2 trillion package. It'll go to the House after the Senate approved it in the overnight hours. It includes billions of dollars in help for businesses and a cash payment of up to $1,200 for most Americans. Life does go on, though, right? Weddings like Bindi Irwin. She's the daughter of, remember Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter? She decided to go ahead with her wedding despite the pandemic. They, of course, had to make major changes in this time of social isolation. That's happening in Australia, too. Irwin getting married at a private ceremony at the Australia Zoo yesterday. People magazine reports they had a big wedding planned for April, but they canceled because of coronavirus. So instead, they said, let's just get together. Let's do it. A few close family members. Irwin says her younger brother, Robert, walked her down the aisle. She and her husband, Chandler, lit a candle in Dad's memory. In this time of uncertainty, we are still finding reasons to smile, and I think you're going to enjoy this video.
The coronavirus is going around, yeah. But that's why we have to work from home, our family, mine. We got to work around that.
Got to work around it, man. Yeah. Look, Brecken is going to be all of our bosses someday, don't you think? Sitting there on his smartphone, his laptop. His uncle Joshua shared this on Facebook. Brecken's dad works from home. His mom right now is not working. One of the many salon workers out of work because they have all been shut down. So cute. Yeah. What do you think Dad says around the house? A lot of yeah. I think so. Let's get back to today's talker. Talking baseball. Our digital guy, Eric Henderson, is here. Eric, the Twins were supposed to be on the road. It wasn't a home opener today, but, wouldn't it be nice to be watching a baseball game? Watching something today.
Absolutely. We have a lot of games, a lot of specific moments.
Oh, cool.
Cindy says Kirby Puckett hitting a Grand Slam home run in the '87 World Series.
Of course. How could anyone who was here for that? That's got to be a lifelong memory.
And then the other one, obviously, Wes says World Series 1991 Game 6.
Yeah.
We'll see you tomorrow night.
One of the greatest calls.
Cindy
ever.
says the Cubs winning the World Series.
That was a big one for me, too. I grew up in Chicago, a Cubs fan, and remember sitting with my grandpa and having him cuss about the Cubs. He was so mad at the Cubs because they were terrible, and then to have them win was amazing.
Yeah. Charles says I was at the last game that the Twins had at the Dome, and the first game that they had at Target Field.
Oh, cool. That's fun.
Absolutely. Cole dropped in to say Rookie of the Year when Henry threw a floater to strike out a shocked Hedo, winning the division title for the Cubs.
All right.
Another Cubs memory there.
Yeah.
And then maybe my favorite, Lisa said, my favorite memory is getting engaged at the Twins game last September. We love the Twins, so it was the best proposal
ever.
Ever.
Cool. That's really great. I love it. One of the hardest things about this time, I think, is for many of us, sports is where you do have those kind of moments where you come together, those collective memories that you remember forever. So you feel the hole, I think, not having it right now.
Yeah, the tail end of winter, you want to just get out into the crowd.
Right. Yes, I know. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. I was at Target Field. You're like, oh, I'm ready to go. And
Yep.
here we are. All right. This is the 734 from WCCO. Keep your questions, your comments coming. We read it. We love it. Your positivity helps fuel us. So keep that rolling here. We'll be back with you same time tomorrow at 734.